Welcome, Karate Connection, Team Highest on 610, grappling. Made for grappling. All right, let's start with some grappling warm-up. We're going to start out with some stand-up warm-ups. We do this Monday, but just as a quick review, little foot sweeps, turns, and my foot should be sweeping across that floor. You hear it making that noise? It's that side of that foot dragging. I'm taking my hands, turning. Nice. Working that stand-up warm-ups. Turning that wheel as we do it. Good. All right, now we're going to step back and turn. Step back and turn. I always do two sides. Always do two sides. Nice. You should be back here July 1st, hopefully. Yay, July 1st. Get you guys and girls back in class, back in action. Normality to this crazy mixed up world. Good. We're going to do a little foot to foot side. You go 1, 2, and then sweep. And what that sweep's doing is kicking their feet together. So when their feet go together like this for 1 second, you're going to hit it with your foot. So the motion is 1, 2, and actually sweep on 2, okay? So again, I'm doing 1, 2, and sweep. You got it. So it's 1, 2, sweep. 1, 2, sweep. 1, 2, sweep. 1, 2, sweep. Okay? It sounds just like what the word I'm using, sweep. It's sweeping the floor with your foot. And you want to hit with this part of your foot right here. The idea is to do it so often that when you're grappling, you're standing up and you go to pull. Bam, you're just doing it, just automatically, boom. Okay? You want to not even think about it. You want to be, like right now I'm looking at the camera, I'm not even looking at the floor, I'm looking at the camera. So it's just moving, okay, and you're just moving that side to side with your feet. Just so you're boom and not looking down. Because once you look down, you send a message to your opponent that you want to try to take their foot or sweep that leg, okay? So it's important. So remember that. Look them in the face, in the eyes, and time it, okay? So important. So next one we did 1 step back, we did side to side, we just did, now we're gonna do a half circle or a 2-step. I'm gonna do it going backwards and I'll give you a side angle too. So I step 1, that same leg's gonna move again, and I step again, and I sweep. Now, the hands, always the wheel, like a wheel of a car. You're grabbing up here, grabbing the gi, lapel, and right there. Okay, so grabbing, we're going to step 1, pulling him or her. Pull. Take another one and turn. Okay. Step, pull, and then this next step here, again at an angle, and this foot sweeps. Okay, you got to imagine that person coming forward with you. Even if the first one you don't want to pull, you can just stand there and you're holding them, and then they all of a sudden push you. There's your first step. Okay? You're just absorbing that first step, and then you're going to take a step if they push you first. So you don't always have to initiate the first movement. Sometimes the idea of just taking that first step. I'm going 1, 2. Okay? Now the other side. Again, it's not so much thinking, it's just moving and sweeping, getting used to it. The less thought, the better the motion. We get wrapped up with so much thought in grappling that we forget if we practice hard enough and rep enough, these techniques just happen naturally. And I'm going to give you a side angle here, just to get a feel for it side. I'm going to start out, I'm going to open it up towards you. 1, 2, and sweep, okay? So it's 1, 2, and sweep. 1, 2, and sweep. Now I'm going to do it from the other side. I'm going to use the other leg, so I'm stepping 1, pull, keep pulling, 2. Okay? So again, 1, 2. 1, 2. Good. Again, 1, 2. Again, 1, 2. Nice. Okay. So the idea on the foot sweep is very basic. The hardest part of it is timing. And then what happens with timing is you get so wrapped up with trying to adjust that time, you think of the technique, and it's too late. So for instance, when I just do the first basic foot sweep and I step back, the first one and do this, we'll say, okay, I need to step first, then I sweep. Okay, it's almost too late. You're making it like a 1-2 motion. You want to make it like a 1.5. So it's 1, and there's my half, okay? The half is the next motion. That motion, okay? You don't want to break it down so many moves like 1, he's already stepped, or she. Now you hit, it's too late. Okay, so it's important to make it 1.5 or 1.25 if you want to really break it down. Even though it's 2, you want to make sure you keep it. I always say, you step first, then think kick. All right? If your partner steps first, it's too late. Their foot's already planted. So that's another part to watch out for. So it's good to do foot motions and get that feel so you're almost not even thinking about the sweep. Another way to practice just a basic foot sweep, just to get used to it, is just have a foot come across like you're sweeping the floor. Step motion. Get used to that. That's what helps that foot work. And what's neat is when you do a foot sweep, you can always build all kinds of combinations from it. You can set up a drop soanagi, a standing soanagi, head and arms, you know, soto geris, all kinds of other throws that can set up just because you're getting them an alarm. Just that motion, get your hips loosened up. So it's just kind of working it. Almost looks like I'm dancing almost, but again, it's just getting that foot motion used to it. That's all you're doing, just kind of flowing with it. Nice. Okay, good. That was good for our stand-up today. Just trying to get that feel. The more you can get used to the feeling of it, not thinking about it, just doing it is going to help you so much. So let's have a seat. We do some ground a little bit now. We're going to do a 45 rope. Arch up. 45. That's it. Nice. Keep it going. There you go. All right, so next one, we're going to go up and then rotate over. So we're inside. Okay? So I'm going to be moving all over the floor with this one, just to give you different angles. So up, arch, and as I reach, I kick over and go right to the side. Okay, so we have all kinds of different angles for you here. So I'm reaching up, arch, okay, up and arch. That knee comes down, that leg kicks over, and you're right in the side control. Or you can be in north-south, depending on how they move. Let's see here, moving all over different angles for you. Okay, so up, arch, kick over, and you roll right up. Okay? Good to practice that one too. Instead of just doing the 45, you had the kick over and step. Next one, these are step throughs. I'm moving my body so you can see. I step over, and as I pull the bottom leg through, it really doesn't touch the floor, and I rotate my hip. This is good to help us pass from side to mount. It's also good to understand how the hip rotations work for sweeps and shaves. The other thing you're hearing now is the back of my gi rubbing on the floor. My leg isn't rubbing on the floor, but my back of my gi is rubbing on the floor. Nice. All right, good. So it's just a couple warm-ups. Get a little stretch in here. We'll give you like a minute or two stretches just to make sure we don't pull anything. Good. And stretch down. Hey, good to see you watching, Rick. Hopefully we're back July 1st. Let's hope, let's hope, let's hope. Everything's on track. It's a Wednesday. Butterfly. And legs out straight. Always good to get a little stretch in there.
All right, I'm gonna grab my grappling dummy. If you have one at home you're using, great. If not, the one I teach you how to make is awesome too. I'm gonna use this particular one because it has a white top on. Makes it a little easier to see motions. Do a couple review ones and throw something else out there at you. We're gonna start in side control here. Biggest thing to remember when attacking is you wanna keep your space very limited. And that means as I move to movement for my attack, I don't want to create a space of opening. I want to keep it tight. Now, when I'm demonstrating sometimes, what I'll deliberately do is show you, I'll come away from the dummy a little bit so you can see better, okay? Not necessarily want you to do that, but I want you to understand why I'm doing it so you can see better. So we're going to start in our basic side control here. I'm going to go under his head with one arm and the other one down to his body right here. So keep my elbow tight into his legs and his hip. The other one's under his head. From here, I'm gonna reach through, grab his armpit right here. This motion, very uncomfortable. It's like a neck crank or a crucifix, okay? Just this motion coming here. I'm leaning in. I'm gonna take my shoulder here and compress it into his face and neck, like I'm doing this with my arm. That motion. Okay, so I'm right here. I'm here, side. I'm gonna reach for his armpit. I'm gonna compress my shoulder and drive my shoulder right into the face and the jaw. It's uncomfortable. Okay, very uncomfortable. If I wanna cause more to this, they're not like tapping because they're just tough. I'm gonna take my leg that's furthest back, closest to his head, which would be my right leg, and I'm gonna step over here and hook right here. I come up, master grip, and crank the neck. This is a crucifix, okay? With a neck crank. Okay, so let's do it again. So I'm here in this position, holding tight. My hand goes under to his armpit. And okay, now look, I'm just keeping tight here. Now this next part of the movement, I'm gonna hop up a little bit so you can see what's going on. All right, from here I'm lifting up. I normally don't come this high. My back leg comes over, hooks his arm. Okay, now my hips are in here, I grab here. Now I want to stay tight. I want to stay low, and I'm just going to twist. That motion, twisting his head. And I'm doing what we call a master grip. Hand on top, and I'm twisting. It's that twisting motion. Okay, I don't want to lock fingers together, I'm doing a master grip, okay? So again, we're here, we're inside, I'm reaching for his armpit. Now, what I want to explain to you is what do I do here? If I am the person getting this done to me, what do I do? Well, number one, you should be red flagging in your head automatically when he reaches under there and starts reaching for your armpit. You should know he's coming at something that's going to cause neck pain. Okay? So if I'm here, I'm under your head, you should be getting ready to think, okay, he's trying to cause pain. He's going to shoulder crank me, crucifix, neck crank, different variations, okay? So as he's reaching for my armpit here, okay, important to turn. Now, they always say don't turn your back, okay? There are times in grappling you turn your back. For a split second, you don't leave your back exposed, you turn it, okay? So when I'm here and I'm turning this way, what he has to do is try to get this arm out of there. This arm right here, and I'm over here doing this. He needs to try to pull this arm out. And then from there, he's gonna rotate and face me. Okay? So a little hard to do when the dummy, I'm throwing them around. Just give you a heads up what they're doing. So if somebody's getting you here and here, all right, as soon as they're reaching, if they lock that in, you have to turn. Have to turn. Over. Completely. Okay. Now, if that person is reaching here under the head and you can feel them reaching, you just need to buck up, shrimp out, and get your body towards them. Buck up, shrimp out, kick it out. Okay? That's what you need to do. Address that motion. You have to recognize each of these subtle moves they do. Each time they put their hand or their leg or their body in a certain position, it's telling you they're going to do a certain submission. Now, there are exceptions. My instructor's one of them. It doesn't matter what he does. It's think you understand, and he's doing something totally different. Okay? Just because he's on another wave level for grappling. It's neat in a way, but it's also hard to understand. He's that far above you. Grappling, it's kind of blows your mind. Okay, so we feel it coming under our head, that arm right there. You want to address it. So the best way to address it before he grabs that armpit is to buck up, shrimp out, away from him, and turn into the person, okay? So it's an easy way to get out. It's one of the easiest ways, using something you already know. If they lock it in and grab your armpit, you gotta pull your other arm out and rotate into them really fast by rotating away from them first, okay? Just like we kind of did with the dummy. So don't forget that part, that's important. All right, we're gonna do another submission. I don't know if we covered that one or not, but it's okay. Good to learn some new stuff. So I'm gonna set my partner up here, okay? This is another gi choke. If I happen to be grappling and I come through here, I'm gonna grab my collar. Excuse me, I'm gonna grab my gi sleeve, okay? You can grab this side or this side, depending on which arm you wanna use. It's totally up to you which arm you wanna use, okay? So, I'm gonna grab here. He's gonna bring his arm over here and feed through. Okay, so this is the motion. One, this is around his head. I come over like this. Okay, so here, sleeve, or sleeve depending which side you want to start with, depending which one you want to use, okay? So it depends. If I'm gonna use my right arm around his head, I probably want to bring my left one through here like this, into the choke. Okay? So I'm going here, this motion. Give you another angle here so you see a little better. Okay, not the dummy there. I'm around his head, right? So, here, here. That doesn't really red flag anybody. All you're doing is grabbing him like this for a second. Next part, this comes over to here. Okay, so here, over to here. So I have this grip onto his throat and I'm choking him. So 1, 2. I twist, see that? Makes that gap smaller. When I twist, it makes it smaller, okay? Lots of fun there. Now, I can do it with the other arm too. So here, grab here. This arm comes over and under. And there it is. Okay. And I can grab my shoulder, my bicep. Doesn't really matter. A little hard to see. And twist in. Okay? So it's a nice little gi choke using your own sleeve. Okay? Because grabbing here is okay. Once you grab his gi, you red flag gi choke. Okay? So a lot of times, don't grab your gi. Grab your sleeve. Right? And what he'll do is, as you're pulling him down, a lot of people don't want to be pulled forward because they're afraid of losing balance, and people aren't taught to base straight up. So as you're holding this, he starts to straighten up like this, okay? So he straightens up. So when I'm here, as he straightens up, this hand comes through, hold onto his head, comes through like this. So you're grabbing this way, okay? And then you twist. You're taking that space and making it shorter. Okay? Nice little, quick little, fun little choke to do there. It does take a little practice, but again, it's a nice little movement. Okay. Another one that I like to do is if my partner rolls the wrong way. So when I'm here, if he rolls this way at all, or he turns for a second, just turns, okay? A lot of times I'll be rolling here and I'll literally lift my partner up here. This goes right into your favorite move. Leg over, right to Komori, okay? So, if you're here, you can also have them flat and do this. I grab here, this side angle, see if that helps a little bit. Grab here, Komori here. Step over, twist. Okay? So I can get Komori from side, north-south, backside. There's a whole system called Komori trap that people just have developed ways of grabbing this move. It all comes back to learning these basic ones that you do over and over in class. Where can you grab them? Okay, so I'm here, and he's not giving me much, but there's an arm here I can grab. Reach through, grab my own. So I'm doing that figure 4 lock, we call it, or Komori, okay? I step over his head, sit, and twist. If I'm here, and I can push him a little bit like this, and I can step over, keep a little higher motion, and then twist again. So you can see how easy it is to grab that whenever it's close to you, because a lot of times people will do what we call T-Rex, or hands in tight, because they know they're not supposed to extend their arms. They'll pull those hands in tight like this. They're in there. They're in here real tight like this. Real tight, okay? So I'm just gonna reach out and grab that tight arm. Now, the important part here is, as I grab this, he can get out, but what stops him from getting out, as soon as I grab this, I step over. Now he can't turn as easy, and I twist. I do that Komori going backwards, okay? So I'm taking that arm, and I'm bending it this direction. Turn, okay? The arm you want to attack for this particular move is the arm closest to you. Can I attack here? Yes, I can. So, that particular one I was showing, that was that side. Now, if you want to attack the other side, totally fine. If I'm here, watch. I grab, there's my Komori. I step over again, and I twist. There it is. Okay? So you can find this move just about anywhere you want. I know you'll appreciate that one, Rick, because you like that move. Okay. All right, good class tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember, this was designed for KCMMA members, and if you love it, great. If you don't comment. It's how life should be. All right, thank you everyone for watching tonight. Chief, Ray, sayonara. I'll see you people soon or next week.